Hi. Now, if you're anything like me as a business owner, sometimes you're going to feel really, 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 really alone. Now, that's not to say you feel like a sad sack, that you feel like, oh, nobody understands me. It's just that sometimes, as a business owner, there are certain things within your business that there's nobody else within your business that you can share that stuff with. It might be confidential stuff around a particular staff member. It might be financial stresses. It might be, who knows, any element of your business that you can't share within your team. Over a period of time, those things can add up and can leave you feeling quite isolated, quite alone, as if you really are an alien among humans. Now, I've had periods like that in my business that have been absolutely terrifying, absolutely overwhelming, or absolutely frustrating because I can't share that stuff. Now, in the past, when I've felt that intense isolation that comes with owning a business, I'm thinking back now, probably at least 3 years ago, it was probably the last time I felt such intense isolation as a business owner and had no idea where to turn with that isolation. And so I remember feeling at the time, this can't be right. Surely other business owners don't feel this alone all the time when it comes to stressful things in a business. So I started scouting around and I started laying the groundwork years ago for what is now showing, I guess, the fruits of that labor. And that really is, I no longer have that sense of isolation. There are certainly times when I really can't share stuff with my team. And I hate it when it's like that because sometimes, you really want to be transparent. So whether it's, what's a good example? It might be something to do with a contract in your business, or it might be something to do with staffing changes, or it might be something to do with financial matters. And you'd really love to be able to be able to be more transparent with your team than you are able to be, or B, you'd really love to be able to just share that with somebody, right? Now, how do I get through it? How did I beat the isolation? Well, it took a little bit of time and it took a lot of effort. And really what I did was I stopped believing that I had to sit alone with whatever stressor or news or difficult situation I was dealing with in my business. So I did a couple of things. First of all, I found some other business owners like me in my field who I could talk to. And that took a little bit of a while. That took a little bit of time, a little bit of work, a little bit of effort. And once I found a couple of other peers, like-minded peers who I could trust, then I felt like, oh my goodness, my experiences are normal. So I stopped having that alien among human feelings. So that was number one. So number one was to find a peer network, or to find a small group of peers that I could talk to. And I remember, in fact, I was meeting with another practice owner today, and she and I were reflecting on the very first conversation we had with one another, which would be, now we were trying to figure it out, about 3 or 4 years ago now. And I still remember that conversation so clearly because of two things. First of all, each of us thought we were so alone and so unique in what we were doing that we felt quite isolated because of the uniqueness of the way our businesses were moving forward. And secondly, we discovered that at every step of the way, our businesses had followed really similar models, really similar struggles, and we had dealt with those in really similar ways. So it was like finding a sister business owner. So that in itself took a lot of pressure off me, and especially in the first few years of knowing her, she and I spoke to each other a huge amount because we really didn't know who else we could trust with some of our worries. Beyond that, so that's step number one. Beyond that, step number two for me was getting a mentor, somebody who had trodden the same path as me, but had done a bit more work around building a safety network for themselves as a business owner. So getting a mentor is something that I cannot recommend highly enough. I know that I've spoken about this so many times. And of course, it's why I'm drawn to do the mentoring that I do. One of my key issues is helping business owners not feel so isolated. And I think in particular in the mental health professions, which of course is my area of business, in the mental health professions, we expect ourselves to be above certain things. Maybe not on a rational level, but on like a core gut feeling kind of level. We expect ourselves to not be burdened by stress, because we expect ourselves to have the skills at our fingertips to manage stress on a day-to-day level. But of course, we're human beings like anybody else. And mental health professionals, we're not taught at university how to run businesses. We're not taught how to lead teams. This is stuff we have to figure out as we go along. And of course, that means that we become increasingly different from our mental health professional peers who are not business owners. So again, that intensifies that sense of isolation. So getting a mentor, someone else who's gone through all those trials and tribulations, huge benefit. So I now mentor other business owners, especially those in private practice and in practice owners, so business owners in the mental health professions, but other business owners too. And what I've found is that sense of isolation started to sneak up on me again. Nothing like what I used to feel, but what I did experience was a glimmer. It was like a slippery slope that if I'd sat down on it long enough, I was going down. A glimmer of, because I mentor practice owners, I should be immune to feelings of isolation and stress, because that's the issue that I work most closely with practice owners around. But of course, now that I'm a mentor in this field, I started to wonder, well, now who do I talk to? Now who is my peer? Now who is my mentor and my support? So look, I still have the same peer network who I talk to. I still have the same mentor connections that I had before. And now what I've done is I've found some additional ones to help me through the next level of my business. And in fact, that's where the idea for my Fire Starters program came from, was through me being mentored by a new mentor who was helping me look at my business through a different lens. So my new mentor is not a mental health professional. She's somebody who helps business owners more broadly. And so by having her different set of business owners' eyes look at the work that I do, I was able to recognize a gap in what I was offering for my mentoring clients. So, my Fire Starters program, it's a 30-day program. If you're interested in that, it starts in September. All you have to do is send me a private message and I will send you either to the business page here or to me personally, and I will make sure you get all the information you need if you want to join the Fire Starters program. Kicks off in September, not far away. So for me, the key aspects of bursting through that business owner isolation is having a trusted peer network of other business owners, especially in your field, but not necessarily only in your field. I've actually had some great advice and great support from business owners outside of my field, and that's actually been really, really valuable. And of course, the second element, the second tier, is having a mentor. Now, people ask me what's the difference between a mentor and a coach. It really does depend. If somebody is mentoring you, you'd expect them to have been through many of the challenges that you're going through. So that tends to assume that they're in the same or very similar feel to you. Now, that's not an exclusive rule, but that's what people tend to think about when they're thinking about a mentor. And a business coach is somebody who's a business owner, got business experience, and is able to use their business leadership knowledge to help you think about your business in a different way. So you can see how there's similarities between a coach and a mentor. I do a bit of both, so I don't mind which term you use. I can use them interchangeably, and I'm sure you're quite happy to do so too. So think about this. As a business owner, the pressure's on you to have the answers for your team. The pressure's on you to look strong. And the pressure's on you to keep all those shields up so that you save face and you provide stability for your team and for your business. I challenge you to let some of those shields down by finding the support you need so that you can move forward in a healthy way. Now, I think back to the times when I felt most isolated and the stress I was under at the time. In fact, this colleague and friend who I met with this morning was telling me her recollection of that time in my business journey. She said to me how exhausted she remembered me looking. And certainly that's exactly how I felt, exhausted and overwhelmed at the time. So trying to maintain that veneer of having it all together is going to burn you out if you're not careful. So really important to drop those shields a little bit. Make sure you've got the support you need, either with your peers or with a mentor or both. And that's what I love about the group programs that I offer with my mentoring clients, because they're not only getting that close contact mentoring support from me, they're also forming a peer network with like-minded other business owners who are going to form a trusted peer group for them going forward. So whatever business you're in, whatever field you're in, don't be afraid to start looking around, if you haven't already, for the right kind of peer support network that can help cheer you on, and also the right kind of mentor for you. And of course, if that's me, let me know. And if you're interested in my Fire Starters program, please send me a personal message. The Fire Starters is not on my website at the moment, so you would need to contact me directly. So send me a message or pop a comment down below, and I will make sure you get the information you need. So please don't feel you need to battle on alone as a business owner. There's no prizes for going the hard road. Make sure you get the support you need. It's in your best interests and in the best interest of your business for you to stay supported and to not burn out. Take care.